110,000 units of Realme 5S sold in just 45 minutes. Those are some insane numbers. The reason why I'm talking like a statistics maniac is because I genuinely thought everyone who wanted a phone under 10k already got one, because so many good budget phones already launched in 2019. But no, to my surprise, the budget smartphone market is still alive and fresh and pumping. So, assuming there are thousands more looking to get a good budget phone, let me help in choosing between two of the best budget phones available today, the Realme 5S and the Redmi Note 8. Let's get started. Now, this is a technology jock style full comparison, so as usual, we'll only be talking about features that perform differently on both phones and ignore everything else. Like, I will entirely skip Wi-Fi, call quality, fingerprint scanner speed, GPS performance, because they are all equally good on both phones. They won't really affect your buying decision. But I'll definitely talk about display and battery life, because those are pretty different on both phones. They will impact your decision making. Let's actually start from there, the display. The Redmi Note 8 takes this round, hands down. Three major differences. The Note 8's display offers slightly better color reproduction. It can also get brighter. I found it slightly more convenient to use the Note 8 outdoors. But the biggest difference of all is the Realme 5S has a 720p display, while the Note 8 has a 1080p display. The Realme 5S's display is actually larger, 6.5 inches compared to just 6.3 on the Note 8. Larger display, lower resolution, it just means the lack of sharpness is more evident. Now, I know some of you will be like, even the iPhone 11 has 720p display. Well, actually, it's higher than 720p. Also, since the display size is 6.1 inches, the pixel density is 326 ppi, pixels per inch. But the density on this one is just 269. Guys, this is something I said in my Mi A3 review as well. It's 2019, almost 2020, and every phone that costs 10,000 rupees or more should have a full HD display, including the iPhone 11. That's basic. Anyway, let's now move on to build quality. That display you're seeing on the Note 8 is covered by Gorilla Glass 5, while the Realme 5S has Gorilla Glass 3 Plus, which is definitely not strong enough. But you could go for a tempered glass though, like the one from our sponsor, Glazed Ink. What's special about them is that they have actual 2.5D curved glass along the edges, so the entire screen is covered. No air bubbles or awkward gaps like these, which you might get from installing any other tempered glass available in the market. They have tempered glasses for pretty much all the latest smartphones, including the Redmi Note 8, Note 8 Pro, OnePlus 7T, and so on. So do check out Glazed Ink, link in the description. Use the promo code TJOCK to get 10% discount. What's actually quite noticeable is the difference in the materials used. Plastic on the Realme 5S, glass on the Note 8, and of course glass feels a lot more premium in hand. The back is also Gorilla Glass 5, but still it's more prone to damage than plastic. What's even more noticeable is the fact that the Realme 5S is huge, it's chunky, it feels noticeably larger and heavier in hand. The reason is it has a larger battery, but still it's worth mentioning when we talk about the build. In terms of looks and design, I prefer the Realme 5S. Of course, the Note 8 also has some good color options, but personally, I'm a fan of this design. But then looks are totally subjective. Nothing is better than the other. In terms of the actual design itself, these are pretty much identical. Look at the camera module, the LED flash, and even the branding. The camera bump is slightly shallower on the Realme 5S though. That's a good thing. But the Note 8 hits back with a couple of things. Number one, the infrared blaster, which can be used to control many of your appliances. And number two, Type-C. Yes, the Realme 5S has skipped it. It has a micro USB port, and that's again quite disappointing. Both phones have the loudspeaker right next to the USB port, and again, the Note 8 is superior in terms of quality. In terms of loudness, there is no big difference, but audio itself is fuller and deeper on the Note 8. Let's now dive into the phone internals. Snapdragon 665 on both phones. Normally, I would just skip the performance part if both phones had the same chip and similar performance results. But in this case, thanks to the lower resolution display, the Realme 5S performs slightly better with regards to gaming alone. Some games are a little smoother on the Realme 5S. When it comes to PUBG, neither phone supports HD graphics anyway, so the gameplay was pretty much similar. I didn't test it thoroughly with FPS meter and all that, but I didn't really have to. I didn't notice any difference practically. For other kinds of usage, like for checking social media, browsing on Chrome, using WhatsApp, Telegram, etc., there is absolutely no issue with either phone. I noticed some minor lag here and there while scrolling on both the phones, but it's not really a big deal. And anyway, there is no phone at this price that performs better than these. It's just that I was using this OnePlus 7T for a few days in between, so coming back to a budget phone, it feels a little laggy. The background app management, more commonly known as RAM management, again is better on the Note 8. Realme phones have traditionally had issues with RAM management. I noticed it even on the Realme X2 Pro recently. It's a flagship phone. So yeah, things are pretty much the same here as well. The one area where the Realme 5S is considerably better than the Note 8 is battery life. It's got a 5000 mAh battery. The Note 8 has a 4000 mAh unit. Redmi phones are generally very well optimized to get good battery life, but it could only last so long. 1.5 days on medium to heavy usage is gettable, but the Realme 5S lasts 2 days easily. In a couple of instances, I ended day 2 with about 15% charge left. Of course, the reason is the 720p display. It draws much less power, so the phone lasts much longer on every single charge. Charging is a completely different story. The Note 8 supports 18 watts fast charging and the adapter is included in the box. The 5S on the other hand doesn't support fast charging at all. The included 10 watts charger is painfully slow to charge the phone. It's a huge battery after all. I just wish the phone at least supported fast charging. We could at least purchase the charger separately. It's just about giving us options. Speaking of options, which interface would you pick? MIUI or ColorOS? Let me know in the comments. Well, this one's not going to be easy. It's going to be subjective for the most part, but here's my take. MIUI has matured better in my opinion over the past few years. It's now being updated regularly. The Note 8 is on MIUI 11 based on Android 10 on November security patch update. The Realme 5S is on Android 9 and October security patch update. And there are a bunch of small but useful and handy features that really enhance the user experience. One big disadvantage is ads. Ads in several forms like annoying, useless notifications. But then you can get rid of everything in 5 to 10 minutes. Here's a quick tutorial on it. ColorOS on the other hand doesn't have ads at all, just a lot of bloatware which you need to uninstall one by one. On the Note 8, you can just delete them all in one go. This is one of those small but useful features I was talking about. Anyway, yeah, ColorOS doesn't have ads. It has an app drawer, which we all like to have. And most important of all, the Realme 5S is about to get ColorOS 7, a special version of it just for Realme phones. And Realme says it will be much closer to stock Android. But then the recent tweet from Mr. Madhav Sheth, those pictures don't really indicate any stockish flavor. Also, it will take at least 3 months from now. So things are sort of hanging by a thread right now for ColorOS. It's not very clear how it's gonna turn out. But yeah, that's my experience with these user interfaces. You can share yours in the comment section if you've tried both. To make things a little more confusing, we have these exact same cameras on both phones. The results are largely dependent on the image processing or the software processing of images. Not a big difference to be honest. The Note 8 images have slightly better contrast, not very noticeable though. All these image comparisons are like very similar. It's a tie. When it comes to the ultra-wide camera though, the Note 8 is considerably better. Realme 5S's images are too soft. A lot of the details are missing, even though they are both 8 megapixels. Look at these tiles for example. And look at the texture of the road in this comparison. Under low light, again, the Note 8 seems to be performing better. The images have slightly less noise overall. Now, the nightscape mode on the Realme 5S works weirdly. It reduces the noise that a regular picture has, but in terms of brightness, it's exactly the same or worse. I don't understand how it works. The Note 8's night mode images have more noise, but they're definitely more usable. They're much brighter. For selfies though, the Realme 5S is so much better. There is no comparison. The dynamic range is great, my face looks evenly toned, and the selfies are much sharper as well. I think this is the best selfie camera phone under 10K. What about video? No difference. Both phones can do 4K 30 FPS, and honestly, for just 10,000 rupees, the quality of these clips is great. So, this is what the comparison looks like in a single page. I can't help but feel Realme hasn't been very competitive in this comparison. The Note 8 feels like a considerably better phone overall, with some mid-range level features like the full HD display, fast charging, USB Type-C and so on. The Realme 5S is definitely not a bad phone. Snapdragon 665 and a 5000 mAh battery, it's a performance powerhouse. To put it in simple terms, I feel the Realme 5S is a high-end budget phone and the Redmi Note 8 is a low-end mid-range phone. And at the same starting price of 10,000 rupees, I think the Note 8 offers more value for your money. It is the better pick overall, but of course, it doesn't mean you should just blindly get it. You might have some specific needs which might be available only on the Realme 5S, and that's why you should look at this table and decide what works better for you. Subscribe to Technology Jock and hit the bell icon to see more of these detailed comparisons. Also, let me know if you have any video suggestions. I have a few things in mind, but I'd also like your input. Thanks for watching. See you in the comment section. Bye. Take care.